Alrighty, good morning, YouTube. Happy Wednesday to y'all, November 12th, 2025. Hope you guys are doing well out there. And if you were watching the skies last night, we had a heck of a aurora last night, as far down as seen as Mexico, down towards Florida. Tonight, we've got a chance for another potential significant aurora, G4 or even G5 solar storm later on this evening tonight. There's still some fail modes that could allow that, like density, low BPZ, all of that stuff that could play a factor in it. But hopefully, if we take our eyes and look to the skies tonight, we might be able to see another big time aurora tonight, or northern lights as people like to say. So hopefully you guys got out there last night and enjoyed that. We definitely got some pictures last night. I'll have those posted later on, hopefully on our website once we get those edited and updated. But other than that, hopefully tonight we get to see the same thing again. And if you were in the West Coast last night, you didn't get to see it because of this storm system that's happening across the Northwest Pacific here. Lots of clouds, lots of upper level winds here, and that's going to be the case here. So if you're over here in the Northwest Pacific and down here toward the Four Corners, probably not going to see anything tonight. If anything does happen, you may get lucky, but most of the viewing tonight will be across this region here. That's most of the central and eastern Kansas, as we won't have a lot of cloud cover. We've got some wispy clouds down here towards Texas, little cluster of some storms down here, high top cirrus clouds, and then some snow still falling up here towards Canada, but this hopefully should clear out by later on this evening and give us a pretty wide view here of potentially a storm later on this evening into tonight. And as we've been talking about the last couple of days here in my videos, there's not a lot to talk about this week. We may have the return for severe weather as we head towards next week, maybe even a couple storm systems next week, but this week gonna be pretty nice, pretty quiet. Looks to be it's the same trend here, and we'll keep you guys updated on any of that like that. Like I said, I'll have pictures and uploaded later on as we go towards the end of the week here along our website, mesomatwx.com. Make sure y'all check that out. By the way, merch and all that stuff is up there on there still as well. We'll be rolling out some new stuff as we get closer to Christmas as always. So I do appreciate you guys for the love and support. And if you're new to the channel, do hit that subscribe button on the bottom of the screen and turn that bell notifications icon so you can get alerted when we do go live and we do post videos. So always super excited to have some new people onto the channel here. And as always, we'll keep going with it here. So, all right, let's go ahead and talk about what's going to be happening here with our models. And you guys can see, actually, we'll go ahead and zoom in here. You guys can see it a little bit easier here since we're not talking about SPC or anything like that. There's nothing to talk about. There's nothing highlighted from the Storm Prediction Center over the next 7 days, at least as of right now. But we are watching as we go towards next Monday and Tuesday for a little shortwave trough that could come across the Rockies, give us some severe weather in some areas, and we'll talk about what that looks like here in a minute. But right now, like I said, dominant high pressure dominating over here in the Four Corners, keeping things kind of nice and dry. We'll see that high pressure lift to the east here as we go to today and into tomorrow, northwesterly flow, keeping things nice and cool still here in the Ohio Valley here, keeping things quiet, so nothing too crazy ongoing here this morning or really through this week here. And as we go towards the weekend, we are going to see an upper level disturbance, a little bit of a wonky jet stream that's going to enter the picture here as we head towards Friday and into Saturday. You can also see a little bit stronger northwesterly flow here, maybe even see the potential for some cooler temperatures again as we head towards the Ohio Valley here to the Midwest. We head towards Saturday and into Sunday. But other than that, still a pretty nice weekend, upper level low down here towards the southwest here off the coast of California. This is actually going to be our system that comes in as we head towards the middle of next week and actually give us the potential for some severe weather, maybe even some snowfall. So that's going to be a big possibility here. And depending on how this trough evolves and how the low evolves, we could see some severe weather down here as far as Texas, Oklahoma, Kansas, Missouri. This has been shifting around each day that the models continue to get an idea on what's going to happen with this. But there will be some cold air punching the system as well. And there more than likely will be some snow, more potential wintry impacts with this system, maybe more than severe weather. But we are still watching for the potential for severe weather. And that's not going to be the only system that we have to deal with next week. We're going to have a couple systems, maybe Monday and Tuesday, another one coming in here Wednesday and Thursday. This one could be even more impactful here in terms of maybe some wintry weather, some severe weather, some strong storms. I think the biggest theme going into next week is there's going to be lots of rain. I think the above average preset map covers much of the consensus next week as we will have lots of storm systems, one, maybe two, maybe three, each one causing the potential for maybe some severe weather, some winter weather, but in general, heavy rainfall for some people here. And we'll talk about what that looks like here in just a moment. And then I do want to mention one thing. If you guys have been keeping up with Connor's Climate Corner as well, he's been mentioning this. He's a good friend of mine, a very, very good friend of mine. He's been talking about this a lot, and we'll start to break this down on streams here in the next day or two, but looks to be we may have a polar vortex collapse potentially as we head towards the end of the month here and towards December. A lot of the signs are showing a strong height anomalies up into the Arctic, and that can allow for our cold air to basically be surged down and potentially enhancing snowfall potential in very, very cold air as we head towards December. So we're going to start to talk about that and break that down a little bit here in the next couple of days, next couple of weeks as we, continue to watch that trend. But it's something I'm concerned about in terms of cold air and snowfall potential. I know some people may like that, some people may not, but we'll start to talk more about that here in just a couple days. But if you want more in-depth stuff, absolutely follow him, Connor's Climate Corner, on YouTube here as well as on TikTok. He does great work, good buddy of mine, and I really appreciate what he does as always. So here is one thing we'll look at here, our temperature anomalies, just kind of give you guys an idea of how warm and cold it will be. Finally getting rid of this cold air today. It'll be pretty much gone and out of here. And as I mentioned, as we head toward the week here, ridging, very, very warm temperatures across much of the weekend here. And then eventually, as we head towards next week, we may see some below average temperatures return back over here into portions of the Northeast. So we'll see that upper level northwesterly system flow, pop up here, but really still staying pretty warm and above average until we get toward the middle of next week where we start to see these storm systems come in. And there could be some snowfall down here on the table here for portions of the Midwest, the plains, maybe our first little cold blast of air down here towards Thursday and Friday of next week. And then after that, things get a little bit more uncertain. But all eyes are going to start to lean towards this. And this is what I was just talking about. Does our polar vortex collapse at the end of the month? Do we start to get very, very cold air coming down into the country? All signs kind of show that here. The GFS and the Euro both have been starting to show snippets of that. And one, this would cause a pretty decent little severe weather event maybe as we head towards the 25th and 26th, the Thanksgiving holiday. But on top of that, we may have a cross-country snow system or just cold air coming in afterwards here. So we're going to keep you guys updated. But this is definitely something I'm closely paying attention to. And we'll keep you guys updated as always here. And as we get closer to the details here on that. Here's the timing of what we could see with our precip type over the next couple of days here. Like I said, not much going on this week. We do see that rain start to enter the picture. Very, very beneficial rainfall coming for the Southwest here, California, getting down here towards Nevada. We got portions of the Four Corners here getting some rain as we head towards Saturday and Sunday. So this will be nice to see down there. Possibly a little clipper system with some heavy rainfall, some wintry precip up toward the Northeast on Saturday and Sunday. And then we get into next week here. And this is where things get really, really interesting. We're going to have to watch next Monday and Tuesday, this upper level low, this 988 millibar low that the European model is showing here, potentially with some wintry precip, with some cold air to the north making it snowfall. But do we get enough instability in high dew points to give us severe weather? Is going to be the big question. Where is that going to be at? What's that going to look like? It depends on the troughing, all that type of jazz that we look at when we look at severe weather forecasting. And we'll keep you guys updated, but right now it doesn't look to be too vigorous for severe weather on Monday or Tuesday as of now. But then we get another little system that comes in on Wednesday, and this is the one I want to watch for some severe weather, some wintry weather again through the plains here. And then another system, a bigger system, coming through here on to Thursday across the Ohio Valley, the Southeast, maybe some Great Lake effect snow, maybe a big time snow event up here towards Michigan next week. So a lot of things to watch as we get into next week here, and 3 or 4 systems potentially on the table, maybe one every other day. So we've got lots of tracking to do, lots of updates to do next week. So enjoy the time off this week, guys, on the channel, because next week it might get very, very crazy as we could see multiple storm systems with severe weather, with winter weather, as we get ready to try and forecast what's going to happen for the Thanksgiving holiday season. This looks like 4 or 5 storms on the European model here between the 15th and the 27th. So a lot of things to work out here and a lot of details to work out here. But I will tell you guys this. We are going to have a lot of rainfall. And where does most of that rainfall add up as we go through the next couple of days here? This is the rainfall over the next 10 days. And really the Southeast, the Arcotech, the Ohio Valley, and the Northeast looks to be the biggest rainfall. And you can see very, very heavy rainfall. California, Oregon, Western Washington State here. We could see some pretty big rainfall totals. And as always, I think this will change here, but it's some snowfall, maybe even some rain across the Central Plains here. But right now the models just don't see that here on the Euro. GFS a little bit more likely with that solution because it has our troughing and our low pressure systems a little bit more positioned differently. So other than that, guys, that's what I've got for y'all today here. We'll keep y'all updated on the channel. Have another video for y'all tomorrow. We may pop out a live stream today. I do plan on doing an outbreak stream on TikTok today, so we may have a weather update later on this evening if some models change, if anything increases with our threats or anything like that. But I think it's safe to say we may not have any live streams in terms of weather updates until we head toward the weekend when we get ready for next week's setup. So other than that, guys, have a wonderful, wonderful day. If you're new again, hit that subscribe button. I do appreciate it. As always, hit the bell notification icon, and you guys can get those alerts when we do post videos and go live. I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. Have a wonderful day and stay safe out there. And get out there and enjoy those northern lights tonight. It's going to be another beautiful night tonight. So definitely don't ever want to turn those events down, but have a safe one, y'all.